Hello all, welcome to the Retro Racing pre-race grid chat. And we have to repeat that round of applause again because even though the last round hasn't been contested yet, take these off. Even though the last round hasn't been contested yet, we have a world champion of Retro Racing for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, Phoenix is your world champion for Retro Racing Season 1. And what about Yusuf or Matthew? Well, they left. And Lewis and James, they're too far away to be able to close up to Phoenix in one race. Even though 25 points are up for grabs for a win, they're not going to be able to do it. So, yeah, Phoenix with 2 wins and 3 third places and three second places, should I say. And he had a big run of second places that included him even getting second place in the Retro Le Mans series. He was just getting second every single time. And then he finally got that win in the Belgian Grand Prix in that special Ferrari livery. But what about the Constructors' Championship? Well, that's looking just as juicy as you can see. Ferrari on 49 points ahead of Jordan. So Jordan on 33 points with Red Bull. Then comes Benetton on 32 points. Then comes McLaren on 20. As you can see, as the Renault of the Renault team and the BMW team 19 with 19 points respectively, and Ava Gal. Anyway. The McLaren, so the teams who have won in Retro Racing this season are McLaren, are Red Bull, and then twice apiece for Jordan and Ferrari. But yeah, let's talk more about what the last race is, being the Brazilian Grand Prix in Sao Paulo, as it's quite a mad one, and the amount of chaos in it, you might hear a few front wings go like this. No, that's a slash, according to, I found it in it, Hyper Kit. And it's got a few little buttons on it that say different things, so I might try and sneak them in along the way. Anyway, so, turn the audio up a bit now. Does it matter if I turn it up or down? Yes, it really does, okay, that's new. I'm going to keep that up then. So, yeah, the Brazilian Grand Prix and Retro Racing. Got a little bit off topic there, apologies. But yeah, now, what are people's opinion on the Brazilian Grand Prix? Well, I could sum it up in one word.
Awesome!
Yep. And I have to agree with it, because the amount of things that happen in the Brazilian Grand Prix, even in real life or in sim racing, it's bonkers every single time. The Autodromo, what's it called, I forgot what the circuit's called, but it's in Sao Paulo, the city of Sao Paulo, the biggest city in Brazil, and the biggest city in the world, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, let's have a look at some moments then, and have a look at some of the challenges the retro drivers will have to face in the coming race. And also, later on, we'll have a look at how the retro drivers might handle these challenges, whether they succeed in avoiding the challenges or whether they just fail miserably.
Oh well. Anyways,
me in F1.
Turn 1. Turn.
So let me just start again. And yeah, so this is me. That's me in F1 2021, way back when my voice hadn't broken yet. So yeah, let's watch this space.
Anyway, so we head to turn 1. Turn. Oh, we get hit on the rear, and we hit the Mercedes on the rear, and warning there, blah blah blah. And McLaren's gone pirouetting. We've hit him, and we do a pirouette ourselves.
So that didn't go well. Let's have a look at that in a closer manner. Let me just change the speed, and I can describe what's happening here and how this might relate to the retro drivers. Because although it's a different game, it's still the same track, and it's still the same cars. So we head into turn 1 in the Red Bull, and as you can see, it's very easy to capitalise on starts here at Sao Paulo. but it's very hard to get yourself organised into Turn 1 because it's such a short run. I've just realised that was really loud, apologies. But yeah, as I was saying, so we're going to wind back. So into Turn 1, now it's very hard to organise yourself into Turn 1 being a grid, as obviously into Turn 1, it's a very short run. It's about 200 metres, if I'm not mistaken, or 300 metres. It's something very short like that. And we head into Turn 1, and as you can see, there's two Mercedes, a Ferrari, and a McLaren all going in here. We break early, but then get absolutely hammered from behind by a really aggressive McLaren. So you've got to be careful on your levels of aggression here. But yeah, so we get hit into the Mercedes. The Mercedes nearly spins in the Ineos car. But then we head down the hill. We have, I think that's maybe one of the Williams, is that? Or is that another Red Bull? I'm not too sure. Heading past us, that is a Red Bull. I'm going to skip a little bit forward here. And, oh no, maybe we're not. Because it's not going to let me. No, it's not going to let me. Okay. We'll speed it up a little bit, because it is going a bit too slow, I have to say so myself. Let's speed that up to 50. See if that'll be better. Yeah, it's better. So, yeah, as we can see in Turn 1, we have the... Yeah, we get hit by the McLaren, and it's very hard to space yourselves out and get yourself ready for Turn 1, because by the time you're ready, you're in Turn 1 and you're halfway through it. But yeah, as we can see, we head through that and we're trying to defend from the AlphaTauri, and then this corner is always chaotic, especially when a car spins right in the middle of it. It's very hard to avoid. A lot of Constantina moments happen here at Brazil, and that is just one of many moments that you see of Brazil being a Constantina effect. So yeah, we're going to take that off. And next up we have...
Is anything going to change?
Oh, this is Ground Effect Racing League. So, the last time I commentated on a Brazilian Grand Prix was this, the Ground Effect Racing League. And it was the final race. Now, Nanustar in the Mercedes, it has been ahead of Night Owl in the Haas for lap after lap after lap. I think it was about 5 or 6 laps. They were just stuck like this. You know, Night Owl closing, then having to pull away again because of dirty air. And it was getting really frustrating. Then... Night Owl did what Night Owl could do best.
In this little trio, it's been the same for laps on end now, but nothing able to be done by Night Owl unless he makes a late dive. Big move by Night Owl, and he block passes, and he's made it stick. What a move by the Haas driver! And he catches Nanustar right off guard, and Raza thinking, oh, do you know, that's helped me out here. He could also go for a move on the Mercedes. What a move into the podium for the Haas driver. I am in awe of that move. That's the thing that Atom needed to do on the inside of Ferradura for Nanu here on lap 33 to get ahead of Nanu. So Nanu's championship chances are out of the window unless Nanu could somehow gain 5 positions and get the fastest lap and take the win. That will be very unlikely. But down the inside for Nanu, is he going to make the move into the Pico de Bato? No, he's not. Atom Raza revving around the outside of him and keeping the place.
So as you saw, Night Owl with a huge move on the car ahead of him, which was Nanustar. So yeah, let's have a look at that one in slow motion as well. This is going to be something, even though this was the wet as well, this might be something that the retro drivers have to look out for. Having to really go aggressive, and although this is F125, where there's a lot more dirty air than F124, which is what retro racing runs from. Retro racing runs on F124. But yeah, here on F125, as you can see, because of the dirty air, Night Owl has to make such a race down the inside, but it's possible. I reckon he used the bridge as a kind of a reference marker for when he's going to brake. But he gets it done, and then he just block passes Nanustar, takes the racing line, and just shoves him off and closes the door. And then that gives the Raza Gamer a chance to get after Nanustar as well, which he does. But yeah, there's absolutely hectic moments here in Ground Effect Racing League. There'll be, let's have a look. We have Retro Racing. This is a 5-lap clip. Yeah, this is Retro Racing. This is a 5-lap clip. So let's take a look at this. let me just get the scale up, which is like that. So you can see I'm on board, and there's Lewis in front, and we're heading through. We're in the Senna McLaren livery. We head up into the Ferradura and the Horseshoe. Worse exit than us, so we go for a move down the inside. Lewis gives us the room in his McLaren, and us in our yellow McLaren going round the outside of that corner and into the Pico de Battle. We get the job done. But yeah, the Racecraft of Brazil, you can take so many different lines under Racecraft. It does help a lot. Let's have a look at that again, but maybe in a slower motion, because then I can talk about it more. But yeah, managing the grip is very easy at this track compared to other tracks and in other games as well. The grip when you're racing wheel to wheel, I mean, we're on the softs here, so we're going to have a lot of grip anyway. But yeah, if I take this more forward, there we go. So we're heading up into Ferradura, and the slipstream in the game does allow us to catch up very quickly, and also because we downshift early and then get on the throttle much earlier than Lewis. It looks like Lewis was running a lower downforce setup, but in doing so, he leaves himself vulnerable, and we take an opportunist move down the inside. Lewis gives us the room to try and hang it out on the outside, which will become the inside for this corner, and he's trying to do that, but because we have more momentum, we carry more speed out of the corner, and then Lewis has a look for the move again, and the clip ends there. But yeah, so battling at Brazil, you can make risks, but they have to be very calculated, almost like an educated risk in that respect. That's the wrong clip. So the next clip.
Welcome to Formula Asphalt.
So, to get a taster of what races can be like at Brazil on F124 as a finale at this track, I'm going to take you to the Formula Asphalt season finale from season 4. And yeah, we'll see what this race was like, as I was driving this one, as well with a lot of other Formula Asphalt drivers. So, this is Formula Asphalt season 4, the finale at Brazil. Let's see what we can learn from this race that we can take into account for the retro racing race tomorrow. So yeah, let's watch this. Let me set it up.
Welcome to Formula Asphalt. If Joe can finish 4th or higher in this race, he will get 3rd in the championship, ahead of AJ Curtis, who is a non-attendant, who is not attending today. But the V-Cubs both starting at the back. Joe taking pole for the first time in season 4, keeping his run of getting pole in every. But we're away here in Brazil, and Joe gets a pretty good start. Harrison Williams gets a good start. The V-Cubs get the great start as they head to start 1. There's a Red Bull, or is that V-Cub, and a Mercedes and a Williams. So Daniel Harris and the V-Cub of MMR, Nicholas, the man in P2 in this championship. There's Joe trying to catch up to Mint, who is your season 4 champion from Japan, and Joe spins and loses a lot of time and a position to Harris, the American driver in the Williams, goes past Joe, who's struggling with the treacherous conditions here of Mint, but the V-Cubs are battling like they always do. As you can see, they're swapping positions left, right, and centre. And somehow finding grip on the hard tyres in these treacherous conditions. As you can see,